driving back from the marina, there's something that's a big conversation now online that I think is really important, and that is not only showing the highlight reel in your content. And I've been doing this a long time, and so is my husband, but if someone were to kind of give a first glance, they might think that we only show the highlight reel, which is not true, but is fair. So today was one of those days that was really probably not all sunshine and rainbows, as I said it in our podcast and posted about the other day. It's really hot. It's a holiday weekend. There's so many people here. And my husband had a charter, and he worked really, really hard, and he caught some nice fish for these people. And once in a great while, we have people that just don't appreciate it. And today was one of those days. And, you know, I'm really grateful that after all these years, yes, my husband blew off a little steam for a minute, but then he looked at me and he said, you know, this happens like 1 in every 50 trips. And he's right. 1 in every 50 trips. It might even be more than that. It's very rare that someone is not appreciative of the hard work that my husband does, and myself, to be honest. And I was so grateful that he said that, because it is really hard to get to that place for the majority of people. I remember when I was in the corporate world, so maybe some of you can relate to this, you know, I'd get a review, and the review for the most part would be pretty good. You know, I'd get a pretty good review, but I'd remember those 1 or 2 things that weren't so great, and I would ruminate on those. Back then, I didn't really quite understand things. This was a long time ago, but I then would call them mind loops, and then I later heard the term rumination. But it's basically when you're going over and over this scenario in your mind that irked you, made you mad, upset you, triggered you, however you want to put it. And when you continue to do that, you continue to bring those things into your field. Now, breaking those patterns and those habits is not always easy. I'm going to say, for the most part, it's not easy. I'm going to be really honest. And it takes work, and I worked on that for many years to get to a place where I don't do that anymore. And if I have a scenario, it's in a contemplation fashion where I'm working towards unpeeling the onion, learning more. I'm curious about it, instead of just repeating over and over, kind of like you're just banging your head against the wall type of scenario. And I'm so grateful that he said that, and I'm hopeful that he doesn't repeat the day and the things people said and the expectations, and there's just so many things. And when you have a review and you remember that your boss said something to you, and you go over and over and over that in your head, and again you forget, like, you don't pay attention to the other things that were really good. And we do that as humans. I don't know why we beat ourselves up, but we do. We beat ourselves up over something someone said or someone did to us, and that just causes more in your field. So I'm hopeful with this little video that I'm doing in my car driving home from the marina that this just sheds some awareness, because I had intuitive awareness about this for many, many years, but I had never heard anyone talk about it. And then one day, a couple years ago, I was listening to a Neville Goddard video on YouTube, and it was probably generated by AI or something, but it was good, and it mentioned that, and I was like, yes, I totally see this. I totally get this. I've worked on this. I believe this to be true. And so when this happened to us today, because again, not every day is sunshine and rainbows, and today was not sunshine and rainbows, I was, again, so proud of the work my husband's done to get to that place that he can look at me And after letting off a little steam, which is fair, everyone should let off some steam. Like, you are allowed to be angry, you are allowed to be pissed, you are allowed to take pride in your work and know you did such a good job for people, and if they're not appreciative, you're allowed to do that. We have to stop believing that you're not supposed to do that. We were kind to the customer, don't get me wrong, absolutely. But when they left, he was, and I was like, for him. Turning in my street now. But then you have to just know that, and know that there's a difference between contemplation and rumination. So first is awareness. Do that. Are you looping? And then is it contemplation, which is positive and moving forward, or is it rumination, which is likely pulling things back into your field? So I hope this is helpful. I do want to create more content that's just just because I have so many stories. I guess because I have so many stories, like so many, and I'm a 3-5 in human design, so I'm going to be talking more and more about human design and how I embody it. I kind of gotten away from it. I don't know why, not personally, not at all, but just in terms of my content. So I'm going to be just sprinkling in some little things here and there. But I'm a 3-5, so I'm full of experiments and stories, and I love to teach from that lens. And so there you go. And look at this, our little park. It's crazy, all these people. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to be hiding out this weekend in the air conditioning. But happy 4th, and let me know what you think of my video. And I really hope this helps. I really do. I think this is such a big deal. And I just really hope this helps someone out there, especially with the weekend, and if you're traveling and you have family to deal with, or neighbors or whatever. There's lots of things that can hurt you, right?